So what is going on, guys? We are now starting part number 13 of my yellow Nuzlocke challenge. We just completed the Nugget Bridge and we are going to go straight back down to heal before we continue on. Now there is another patch of grass right there for me to try and catch another Pokemon, possibly to replace Rattata there, Mr. Roquefort. Now, I can't see there being anything that I can actually replace him with that's going to be of much use. I think in this game there are Bellsprouts and Oddishes up there. Maybe a Sandshrew still, another area for a Sandshrew, but not that it matters because it's only the first encounter that counts, or following the duplicate claws. So we're going to see what happens. If it is an Oddish or a Bellsprout or another normal type, I won't even bother switching them out because I already have a grass type and it's one of the best. So now that we've healed up, we're going to continue on through here. Obviously up there's the guy who can potentially give me a Charmander. Now obviously I chose Bulbasaur, or my ID number chose it for me, so I am not eligible to get Charmander, unfortunately. So here we are at TM45, which is Thunder Wave. Obviously I'm not going to teach it to anybody quite yet, but yeah. So we're going to continue on down here and we're going to fight this guy. I saw your feet from the grass. Feet with an A, I believe. You're going to have to go back and check that, guys, or maybe I will. I believe that was feet, like I checked your feet, like he watched me defeat the Nugget Bridge, maybe, but it was like feet, not like, you know, the ones below your ankles, so that's weird. Anyway, maybe I'm reading too much into that. So we're gonna go for the Vine Whip, see what that can do first off. Pretty good, actually, probably better than the Tackle. I was gonna check to see which one was better, but I assume the Vine Whip, and we're just gonna go with that. Obviously, Fruit Group doesn't have that much defense or HP yet, so he's a little lagging behind, but right now it doesn't matter too much. The Poison doesn't worry me too much, but the Leer kind of bothers me there. I'm going to Leech Seed the second, see what I can do to it. Obviously, I'm not going to go for the Vine Whip, sorry. For the simple matter that it's not going to be very effective, and Tackle will probably do more, so we're going to see what we can do to it. Not very much. Those Leers are really going to mess my day, because he's just going to keep doing that, and then he's eventually going to Tackle or Wrap, and that's not going to be good, like so. So we're going to try to switch out. I can't remember if I'm allowed while I'm wrapped, but we're going to try. We are going to go into Wayne, obviously, just for the simple type advantage. He's going to go for the Poison Sting, and that's what scares me about these guys, so I'm actually really glad I decided to use Wayne after all, because, you know, the Poison type thing scares me, being poisoned and not getting to a Pokemon Center in time. I have not found an antidote yet. I swore you were supposed to be able to get one by now, but I don't have a single one, so obviously every time there's a poison type out, I'm going to switch. So we defeat the Ekans. Fruit Group gets to level 14 there, which is great. He's 2 levels away from being an Ivysaur. I know, guys, I still have that rare candy, and that's all fine and good, but I'm not going to use it quite yet. So here's our first encounter on this new route, and it is an Oddish. So I am going to catch it, obviously, because you never know what can happen. So I am going to opt to catch it. But as I said before, I won't be using it because I already obviously have a great grass type right here in Fruit Group. And he's going to absorb me all day and just make it that much harder with my shitty tackles to get him down to a good amount of health. One more tackle. And then we're gonna try for a Pokeball. Obviously I want to conserve as many of those as I can for the real ones I want to catch, but obviously you never know what could happen. I might need an oddish. So the oddish was caught, which is great. The weed type Pokemon, it may be mistaken for a clump of weeds. If you try to yank it out of the ground, it shrieks horribly. So we are going to nickname the oddish well, since people try to yank him out of the ground, we're going to call him Potato. That's right, we're calling an oddish Potato because people yank on him like he's in the ground like a potato. So now we have Potato, who was transferred to the PC automatically, and that's great. So we're going to continue on here, guys. I'm not sure if this is a new route with this patch of grass than that one. Another thing I'll have to double check, but this part will be over before I'm finished all these trainer battles. As such, I'm not too worried about it. I can always just run back really quick and check what else is here. Probably nothing too great, but yeah. So we're going to fight this guy. I just got down from Mount Moon, but I'm ready. Obviously a hiker, but he might have a Machop on him, unfortunately. I'm just trying to use Fruit Group, see what I can do with him. And of course he does have the Machop, which just kind of ruins my day right there. So we're going to switch out into Crow for the type advantage, obviously, and go for the Pecs on this Machop. So he's going to use Karate Chop. That's probably going to hurt quite a lot. That thing is notorious for criticals and like that. And we're going to go for a Peck right there. Hopefully one-shot that little bitch, and it doesn't. The next Karate Chop is a critical, and there goes Crow. Now, was that me playing stupid, guys? Maybe. Obviously, I should have switched out to Drago or somebody, but shit. All that time and effort and hoping to get a flyer, and I mean, he's been pretty helpful, so. Fuck. I guess we're just going to have to switch out into... I'm going to go straight for Sparky here and see what a little Thunder Shock will do to him. Try to avenge. Well, at least Crow was avenged. But that's just shitty. Obviously, he's going to pull out the Geodude. I'm not even going to bother going to Fruit Group. I'm going to go straight to Drago because I don't know what the Geodude's going to want to do. He's going to go for the tackle. That could have been bad. He is level 15, but I'm not taking any more chances this battle. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm going to sound a little more depressed for the rest of this because obviously that's the first one I've lost this whole challenge, and it was just a bad judgment call on me. I should have known. High critical hit ratio with that Karate Chop. And Drago got to level 19, which is, you know, great. As did Sparky, all fine and good, but man, that is a tough blow to take, honestly. So obviously, I am no longer allowed to keep him, so we are going to go straight to the Pokemon Center, and we're going to release him. I really wanted to use a Fearow. I don't know if I told you guys that back in one of the earlier parts. I might have, but I was always going for the Pidgeot, so I've never used a Fearow once. You know, Spearow was the mean guy in the anime and such, so it's really unfortunate, but this is what we got to do. So we are going to log on to the PC. We're going to obviously I have to deposit him first. Now normally you have to mark a box with death or something like that, and I'm not even going to bother. I don't even think you can name boxes back then. Maybe you could, but either way, I'm just going to deposit him, and then I'm going to release. So Crow is going to be gone forever, and then Crow is gone. That's pretty tough. I'm gonna withdraw Potato for now, just because to fill the hole. He won't really fill the void, but yeah, that's pretty depressing. I expected to lose some Pokemon, back early on and, be immune to it by now. But to lose a guy, the first one to lose is around this point, this much later in the challenge. That just really sucks. So anyways, I guess we'll have to get over that. I mean, so we're just going to continue on. So we're just going to go straight back up there. I don't know about that patch of grass yet, obviously, but as I said before, I won't get through all these trainers and Bill's place before the end of this episode. So I'm not really worried about it, guys, and I'll know by the next part. So we are going to keep Fruit Group out here, and we're going to fight this hiker, and you're going to see Bill. First, let's fight. So now I have a bit of a hate-on for these hikers. I thought that wouldn't happen until they started exploding and self-destructing in Rock Tunnel, but obviously it's happening earlier. He's got a level 17 Onix. That kind of freaks me out a little bit, but Fruit Group does have type advantage, and we're going to go straight for the Vine Whip. Onix can outspeed me and just fucked my defense totally, so. But luckily, Bulbasaur is a champion. So he took that guy out like it was nobody's business. Grew to level 15. Hopefully he will be an Ivysaur really, really soon. So we're going to try to fight. This is the infamous, I believe this is the infamous youngster that has the Slowpoke. It might be him, it might be the next one. I believe it's him who is part of the Mew glitch. For those who don't know about it, look it up. It was a way in the original Gen 1 games to get a Mew that was coded into the game at level 7, I believe. So I've done it before, it does work, and it was pretty cool. So let's fight him. Local trainers come here to practice. Why do I think that's not the line? It is a youngster. And he has a Rattata. So no, I don't think this is him. I believe it's one with a Slowpoke. Either way, we are gonna try fighting this guy. We are the same level. Might not be the best idea. I should probably wait for something I'm super effective against, but don't really care. We're just gonna go for it. Because I want that Ivysaur and I want him now. Now, obviously, I could just use the rare candy, but I'd like to use that later on in the game when I'm looking to grab a few easy levels. So he's going to bring up the Spearow. Peck will fuck my day, so we are going straight into Sparky for this one. Sparky's going to come out and Thundershock this bitch all to hell. Fury Attack's going to do fuck all to Sparky because he's a champion. Even a critical hit only did 8 damage. And he only gets 2 hits anyways. That Thundershock is going to take him out completely. I am getting so lucky with critical hits on that Thundershock though. That's great. So we defeated the youngster. I think I was wrong, guys. That is not the Mew one. One of these guys is though. He's usually the classic one to use. So anyways, we are going to fight this guy right here. Dad took me to a great party on SSN at Vermilion City. Another fun fact about SSN: there is the way to skip it and be able to go back into it and surf around it. So. This might be the actual youngster. I'm just getting confused. I thought he was facing down, but obviously not. So I totally forgot about the confusion there. And holy shit, I lived that with 1 HP. That is scary as fuck, guys. I honestly thought I just fucked up the second time in one video. And that would have been so shitty. Whew, I gotta really start being more careful. So we're just gonna go straight into Sparky here, and hopefully that Thundershock will really teach him who's boss. Hopefully that confusion doesn't do too much to me. And holy shit, that critical is crazy. So we go for that. The confusion hits me, but it shouldn't be too bad. And we managed to kill the Slowpoke, but damn, that Slowpoke has one mad-ass confusion. Fruit Group did grow to level 16, so now we should see an evolved Ivysaur. fruit group is evolving. So our first evolution of the Nuzlocke. And it's pretty exciting considering I nearly killed him. And now we have our second evolution Pokemon. So that's great. But holy shit, that was a bad fucking call on my end, guys. I don't even know what I was thinking, especially after what just happened with poor old Crow. Yeah, I shouldn't dwell on that too much because that's just gonna depress me. And obviously, I don't know how to walk around people and say excuse me. So we're just gonna run back to the Pokemon Center really quick so I can start using Ivysaur. Obviously, low level. I'm not taking that risk again. So we're just gonna heal up here, guys, and once again, once we're done, we won't be doing a grind for quite a few more episodes, I hope. We should be, after this, going straight down to, from Bill's house, we'll be going straight down to the gym here and battling Misty. Especially now with Bulbasaur and Pikachu, this should be an easy... And what the fuck, asshole? Get the fuck out of my way. Ungrateful bastards in this fucking town. So, as I was saying, we are going to, with Fruit Group and Sparky on my team, Misty is probably going to be a joke, and so will all the trainers. That Starmie is usually a bit of a tank though, so I'll probably be using Ivysaur, not Pikachu, against the Starmie. So here we go, guys. We are going to battle this one next, and this is last. It says, "Hi, my boyfriend is cool." Well, I don't see your boyfriend around, so how cool can he be? So here we go. We have a Nidoran male coming out. We're going to just see what a tackle does. Excuse me, guys. Not too much. And the double kick obviously doesn't do very much either. But obviously he is a poison type, I believe, so we're just going to let Wayne take care of this rather than struggle through 5 or 6 tackles. So the Nidoran goes for a Leer. I'm just going to go for the Leech Life, which I guessed right, it is super effective. Not that it does much more than Fruit Group's Leer there, but we're just going to give Wayne that sweet, sweet experience, as Fruit Group caught up pretty quick with all these trainers. Once again, though, that is probably hindering the growth of my other Pokemon a little bit. But once again, having Ivysaur on the team is a great, probably one of the strongest already on my team next to Drago. So anyway, we're just going to continue with the Leech Life with these Nidorans. Even though, as I said before, it doesn't do very much, but the double kick's not going to do much either. Wayne's got 2 levels on these guys, so it's not a huge deal. Hopefully I get a Golbat out of him soon. They should start evolving pretty soon. Crow would have evolved soon as well. Probably level 20, 21. And it's really unfortunate that we don't have him anymore. But you know, we still have Wayne, who will be a Golbat soon, and we're going to try to keep everyone alive from here on out. After this one more double kick, this battle should be over. And there we go for the last Leech Life. Get a little tiny sliver of health back, and there we defeated the last, so there we go. So the last is defeated, guys, and that is where I'm going to end the video. I know it was a little long, and I apologize for that. Just trying to make up for some of the shorter videos as well. And in all honesty, I wasn't really paying attention to the time. I was enjoying playing, and Crow's death there really kind of fucked my day a little bit and got me a little off kilter. But anyways, not going to take up any more of your time. Once again, guys, just thanks for liking and watching the videos, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. So till then, later. Hey guys, what's going on? This is now part 14 of Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke Challenge. We're going to jump right underway. Before we begin though, I just wanted to quick note that there is a patch of grass here that is considered a new route, so I will be attempting to catch a new Pokemon here. And we're going to see what we can get. Obviously Bellsprout right here, not a bad find. It is a new Pokemon, so I am eligible to catch it. I'm going to go straight for it. But unfortunately, just like with the good old Potato sitting here in my party, there's no real use for a Bellsprout on my team right now. It'll be really redundant, and like I already have an electric type, a poison type, and a grass poison. Having more than that would you know, I'm not going to be able to defeat certain gyms or Elite Four members. So we're going to go straight for a Pokeball there, catch the Bellsprout nonetheless, just in case something goes wrong, which they always seem to in a Nuzlocke. So it is the flower type Pokemon, prefers hot and humid places. It ensnares tiny insects with its vines and devours them. That sounds absolutely brutal. So Bellsprout, I'm not really sure what we're going to call him. I can't think of anything too miraculous. He is the flower type Pokemon, so maybe we'll go with something. Maybe we'll just go with Rose. Yes, I know back then there was no male-female thing. That was something introduced in Generation 2. But for the most part, we're gonna call it Rose Female, just to spice it up there. So now we do have a Rose Female in someone's PC. As I said before, we won't be using him, but or her, but she is there. So now we're gonna go straight up against this hiker, who's very obviously a hiker, who says, "I'm off to see a Pokemon collector at the Cape." I would assume that'd be none other than Mr. Bill himself. So obviously it is a hiker. He will probably be sending out, yep, a Geodude, and it looks like he's got a few more Geodudes hidden away in there. So we're going to go straight for the Vine Whip, obviously. That's why Fruit Group is such a boss. He can Vine Whip bitches all day long. He's got another Geodude, of course, so he's probably got a Machop and an Onix, or maybe he's just loaded with Geodudes. Who the hell knows? But that's 2 Geodudes down, and Fruit Group grew to level 17, which is great. So he sends out a Machop. I'm going to actually stay in it and go for the Vine Whip again, which does a moderate amount of damage. And this Karate Chop obviously kind of freaks me out a little bit, just considering what happened to Crow in the last part. But it doesn't seem to really do that much to Fruit Group here. I mean, 7 damage ain't too bad when you have 50 health, so... So there we go, one more Geodude, and which should be a one-shot, and then we have defeated the hiker. So that's pretty cool. Getting that much closer to Bill's, and hopefully go against Cerulean City Gym soon. So we're going to go straight up against this guy. Obviously there is a TM hidden up there. He says, "I'm a cool guy, I've got a girlfriend." Which is kind of funny because the girl right before that hiker in the last part says, "I've got a boyfriend," so maybe they're together. He's going to start off with the Rattata. I'm going to go straight to Fruit Group, but I think I am just going to switch out and go into Drago, just because I haven't seen Drago in a while, and he's my boy. So the Rattata's going to go for a tackle, which actually does a moderate amount, surprising to Drago, but maybe his defense isn't that great until he evolves. Obviously the low kick takes him out in one hit. Not a whole lot of experience to be shared. He goes for the Ekans. I'm just going to Mega Punch that bitch. I could switch out into Wayne, but right now, not really worried about it. Though that Poison Sting kind of scares me. Critical hit and all. Not so much critical hit, but just the chance of being poisoned. Especially with no antidote. That always freaks me out. So there we go, we defeated him. Now I do remember this being a TM. I don't remember it being that good. It is TM19. We're just going to find out what that is, boys and girls. And it is Seismic Toss, which generally speaking, not a terrible move, but at low level it would be, just because I believe Seismic Toss is the move. The fighting type obviously move that is equal to the user's level. So if I'm fighting a level 20, it does 20 HP. Obviously, as their level gets higher, that's pretty good. Fighting a level 100 would be great, but I don't see us fighting any level 100s anytime soon. So I'll just hold on to that for now and see what else we can do with it. Obviously, everybody's doing pretty good, but Wayne looks like he's a little lonely, so we'll be switching out for Wayne right here, right now, to fight this guy, who says, "I knew I had to fight you." Sounds like a premonition thing. Maybe it's a psychic trainer. And I'm totally off my mark, and it's a youngster. He starts off with Atkins. Looks like it was a good choice to go into Wayne right then and there. Sometimes, obviously, I don't call it as well as that, but once in a while you do get lucky with the type advantage off the bat. And it's more frequent with things like that because, or you notice things more like that, I should say, guys, just because, obviously, with the battle style on set, you really do tend to notice the little things like that when you're in battle. So obviously just going for the leech lives here. They are super effective. Bite might do more and whatever, but I'm getting my health back. The seconds can't really do much to me. He's got wrap, which is a pain in my ass. But obviously with once the wrap ends, the Atkins will be dead. So, and there we go. And I get a tiny little bit of health back. Obviously didn't have much to share, but keeps my health high and not having to waste a potion. So Wayne grew to level 18, that's great. Sandshrew, well, you know what, I'll just go for the bite and see what we can do. Bite's not doing too bad. He did flinch, which is great. Let's go for another one. He didn't flinch that time, but he did miss with the sand attack. I've already got him down to a quarter of health left, sorry. 3/4 health gone is what I meant to say. And now that he's redlined, just one more bite ought to do it. And Wayne's acting like a boss here. This is great. So we are going to leave Wayne out for this next battle just to see. Maybe we'll probably switch out. I believe this is the last one, and she says, "My friend has a cute Pokemon. I'm so jealous." So we're going to just keep this out here to fight this last trainer before we hit Bill's house. She sends out an Oddish. Once again, looks like a good choice to send in Wayne. Even though he is low health, he does have a couple of leech lives left, and we will be utilizing the super effectiveness of that. Critical hit nearly gets rid of it. I'm back to 33 health. That's great. Oddish, obviously, only attacking move is probably the absorb attack, and not going to do her much good. So Wayne's just acting like a boss out here. The Pidgey freaks me out a little bit. I'm gonna go for the type advantage. Obviously, that was my downfall with Crow. I went for the type advantage, and look where it got me. But I'm a little more confident that Sparky here will be fine against this Pidgey. The Karate Chop and those damn critical hit ratios are really gonna fuck my day later on, probably too. Obviously, I don't really have much to do against this Oddish with Sparky. I'll try the quick attack. I suppose it won't be too bad to beat him with that. Well, yeah, the quick attack does a fair amount, but that absorb is like just ruining my day. Taking just enough, so he's gonna probably survive the third one, which he doesn't because it's a critical hit anyway. So I did worry for nothing. I contemplated switching out there, but it didn't seem like much point. So we're finally reached Bill's house, guys, and Sparky's like, "What the fuck is this thing?" Yeah, he's got no damn clue, neither do I. So we're gonna go up and see what's up with this Pokemon. He says, "Hiya, I'm a Pokemon." "No, I'm not. Call me Bill. I'm a true blue Pokemaniac." "Hey, what's with that skeptical look?" "I'm not joshing you. I screwed up an experiment and got combined with a Pokemon. So how about it? Help me out here." "Sure. When I'm in the teleporter, go to my PC and run the cell separation system." Sounds pretty straightforward to me, but this technology seems a little advanced. You know, it surprises me that over 6 generations of games they have not utilized what Bill did, obviously, back in Gen 1 yet. And after some weird-ass sound effects, we have Bill. And Sparky's just like, what the fuck is going on here? And Sparky, honestly, I don't know either. So Bill says, yaha, thanks bud, I owe you one. So did you come to see my Pokemon collection? You didn't? That's a bummer. I've got to thank you. Oh here, maybe this'll do. And that is where we get our SS Anne ticket. The cruise ship, the SS Anne, is in Vermilion City. Its passengers are all trainers. They invited me into their party, but I can't stand fancy dues. Why don't you go instead of me? Well, thanks a lot, Bill. That's awesome. So we have completed the Route 25, I believe this is called. And we will be heading right back down to Cerulean City. Now, this episode will probably end before, obviously the last one was a little extra long because of Crow's passing, I suppose. And this time I'm going to try to keep it at that consistent 15 mark that I've been inconsistent with. So we won't be tackling the gym until the beginning of the next episode. We are going to go to the Pokemon Center and heal, however, and then we are going to go get TM Dig from that rocket. Spoiler alert there for those of you who don't know that you get the TM Dig from the rocket that broke into the house. So we heal up all our guys, and there we go. So obviously we are going to... I have no idea what he's going to bring out. I'm thinking maybe I'll just... well, you know what? Actually, Fruit Group could use the... Fruit Group could probably use the experience, so we'll go with Fruit Group for this one. I have no idea what he has, and maybe this was going to be my downfall, but... Obviously, he's going to be a little higher level than the trainers we fought up there as it's continuing onwards. So this place is a wreck, and we are going to take back that TM. Hey, stay out. It's not your yard, huh? Me? I'm an innocent bystander. Don't you believe me? Not dressed like that, carrying a fucking whip and literally holding the item in your hand. No, I really don't. So the rocket goes for the Machop, obviously. Fruit Group wasn't a terrible choice, but not a great choice as he is even leveled. I'm going to go right off from the Leech Seed just to help out my boy here. Karate Chop is probably the best guy to do that with, obviously, because that is a critical hit, and it's not going to totally take me out by the looks of that. So we're just going to go for the Vine Whips here. Critical hit right off the bat. That's great. Hopefully the Karate Chop stay without critical hitting all the damn time. But obviously, once again, Karate Chop critical hit ratio is scaring me. And thankfully that one wasn't a critical hit. And he is going to be done like dinner on that next one. So there we go. Fruit Group grew to level 18. That's awesome. And he's going to send out a Drowsy that scares the shit out of me because I know he's got Confusion and most of my guys will get their ass kicked. So obviously I can't send out Fruit Group, Wayne, or Drago because they will get their shit kicked. And Sparky I don't believe can take too many hits. His defense isn't that great, so... Since we haven't known Potato that long and I want to try to keep Rookfort there alive, we are going to just have to go to Potato. Obviously we're going to see what Potato can do. Probably not much, but it's a free switch in if he sacrifices himself. 3 HP left. We're going to try for an Absorb, but obviously he outspeeds us, being 5 levels higher, and unfortunately Potato is gone. Obviously that was more of a sacrificial lamb than anything else, but sometimes it got to be done in Nuzlocke. So now we've brought out Sparky here. We're going to see what a Thunder Shock can do. Obviously not very much. He goes for the Hypnosis. That is going to probably mess my day up. I woke up right away though. That's awesome. Actually, we are going to go for the Thunder Wave because that can't hurt, especially if this thing is going to start using things like Disable. And I'm just worried about that Confusion when he's going to pull out and how much is going to do. And he hits with a second Hypnosis. That's pretty rare for them to hit like that. And obviously, this time I won't be so lucky to wake up right away. He uses Disable. That'll probably disable my... Oh, it disabled my Tail Whip, so even better. I'm fast asleep. He goes for the Confusion. He hasn't been paralyzed yet. That sucks. That Confusion is pretty dangerous. I can probably only take one more. and he goes for the disable. So he goes for 1 more pound there. I'm a little scared now of that confusion coming back, and so I will be using a potion on Sparky. Get my 20 points back. He does go for the confusion. Now we will see with an even 40 that it does do under 20, but not by much. So we're going to go straight for the Thunder Shock. I hope that Thunder Wave was a good idea, because there we go. Looking better now. Critical hit with the Thunder Shock. He got paralyzed. A few more of these should be fine. He goes for the disable. Not too worried about it because it actually goes for the Thunder Wave. So he's just not having any luck with that. That 1 more pound is going to hurt, but I can outspeed him easily, and I'm going to defeat that Drowsy. But Drowsy was some scary there, guys. I mean, obviously my team is not set up to fight the overpowered psychic types. So everyone gets their experience, and that was a tough battle. So, and obviously we did sacrifice poor Potato there, and that obviously not as heavy a hit as Crow was, because Potato was a new addition and not really meant to be part of the team. So sometimes you got to be a little harsh to do a Nuzlocke. So anyway, he says, okay, I'll return the TM I stole. Recovered TM 28. That's awesome. And he says I better get moving by. I'm not sure who I'm going to be giving dig to right yet. Obviously, I believe a couple of my guys can learn it. But we will be using it because it is going to be a helpful move later on, I'm sure. So we're going to end the episode there, guys. I think we just went over the 15-minute mark or thereabouts. That battle took a little longer with that Drowsy than I expected. But next time we will be going straight to the Pokemon Center, and then right on from there we will be fighting Cerulean City Gym. So stay tuned for that one, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, what's going on? We are back for part 15, and our second gym leader battle is right around the corner here. So we're going to run right over there and get started. Obviously jumping straight to the Pokemon Center and then straight to the gym. Now in the last episode I did manage to obtain TM Dig. I believe only Drago can learn the dig move. I thought in later generations I know that Sparky would have been able to, but I'm pretty sure even for the special one in yellow, it's not a usable move back then for him. And so we are just going to teach it straight to him, because you know what, a little bit of type coverage doesn't hurt, and I can't think of any reason not to give it to him. Dig will be probably a useful move into a little bit of type coverage, and so that's the reason we're going to do that. So I am right, Sparky cannot learn it, and we are just going to give it straight to Drago. Probably get rid of that old pesky Leer, because we don't really use it very much. When we bring Drago out, it's normally to obviously take some bitches out, either with type coverage or that devastating Mega Punch. So there we go, guys. We're all healed up and we are ready for the gym battle now. Of course, as always, the gym leader clause applies. Once I enter here, I can't leave without defeating the gym trainer, which would be Misty. So obviously we are going to go straight for the type coverage with this one. I'm going to switch out with Sparky because I plan to use good old Fruit Group for the gym leader. So here we go. So we have a trainer right here who we could have avoided fighting, but Splash, I'm first up, let's do it. Yeah, I was saying we could avoid the swimmer trainer, but obviously I do have type coverage. I don't think they have that strong a Pokemon, and good experience for good old Sparky here. I wish I had Thunderbolt for this point, but obviously I have been raising some other Pokemon, namely Fruit Group, and before that it was Crow and Wayne. So obviously these guys are not as strong as I would like them to be had I not had to waste or spread out, I should say, not really waste, but spread out all the experience thus far. So, but obviously that hasn't been a problem, haven't even been touched, and Sparky grew to level 20, so we have our first level 20. He's trying to learn Slam. That's actually not a bad idea. We are going to Quick Attack's always useful on a Pikachu, so we are going to actually get rid of Tail Whip and learn Slam, just in case we need something that might have a little more power. So we did manage to do that. We are actually going to keep Pikachu out for this battle because I want to have... I'm more than good enough for you. Misty can wait. I want to keep Fruit Group's health at maximum, especially against that particular Starmie. That Starmie gives a lot of people trouble. I never had a trouble with it up until I did a Nuzlocke of Leaf Green, and I realized how devastating that thing can be, especially if you chose Charmander. So this Goldine's level 19. That's pretty crazy. I think it knows Horn Attack, which is pretty crazy attack, but obviously the type coverage is just helping me out like crazy. So that was a pretty short battle, guys, and we are going to go straight into fighting the gym leader. So this is where we're going to switch out into Fruit Group, and we're going to go straight up against the gym leader. Hi, you're a new face. What's your policy on Pokemon? What is your approach? My policy is an all-out defensive with water-type Pokemon. Misty, the world-famous beauty, is your host. Are you ready, sweetie? I'm Sweetie now. That's awesome. And we start. So she's going to bring out the Staryu like expected, level 18. I'm going to go with Fruit Group here and go straight off with the Vine Whip, using that sweet, sweet type advantage. One more of those and that should be the end of it. X-Defend probably shouldn't do very much. I'm not really sure if Grass counted as a physical or special move back then, but by the looks of that, I'd say it's counted as a special. So, Fruit Group now grew to level 19, so he's right up there with everybody else. She's going to bring out that crazy-ass level 21 Starmie. Hardened right off the bat, but hopefully, like I said before, the Grass stayed a special move. But that is a pretty... that's just not good. Critical hit on a tackle is ridiculous, and my Vine Whip is not doing as much as I had hoped. And an X-Defend along with the Harden. Once again, I don't think the defense is going to matter much, which by the looks of this, it doesn't. One more of these, and that guy should be taken care of. 2 critical hits with tackle is insane, but that Starmie stood no real chance against Fruit Group there. So, there we go, and Fruit Group grew to level 20 as well, so now him and Sparky are my 2 guys. So, I can't believe I lost. Alright. You can have the Cascade badge to show you beat me. Well, that's just awesome, guys. Beat my second gym leader and it wasn't that bad. So the Cascade badge makes all Pokemon up to level 30 obey. That includes even outsiders. There's more. You can now use Cut anytime. You can cut down small bushes to open new paths. You can also have my favorite TM. I believe that is Bubble Beam, TM11. And not really good to us right now because we don't really have anybody who can learn it, but a good type coverage move if we ever get something that can learn water type moves. So that's great, guys. Obviously I wasn't too worried. I was way more worried about the first gym battle with Brock rather than the one against Misty, obviously, especially when I found out that my trainer ID allowed me to pick a Bulbasaur once I got here. Trained him up, so now obviously I had 2 major type coverages, both electric and grass, and I don't think Misty stood much of a chance. Either way I would have went. So we're just going to heal up just for the sake of it, and then we are going to continue on. We have a new route to go to right down below Cerulean, and we are going to go straight there. Obviously I do not have Cut yet, so we're going to be taking our way to Vermilion City. And there's switched over to Officer Jenny by the looks of that sprite for the yellow version. Now I believe Lieutenant Surge is one of the guys who has actually changed his roster for yellow version using the Raichu from the anime rather than his standard Pokemon. So yes, this is our new route, guys, and we are going to try to catch whatever we can find. Obviously, and sorry about that, guys. That was a crazy glitch. My computer all of a sudden decided to do a little crazy freeze up on me there. So anyways, let's continuing on from there. To catch a Pokemon, we are going to Yeah, I think we're going to stick with Fruit Group for catching. So here we go. And right off the bat, we run into one, and it is a Pidgey. We have not caught a Pidgey before. Level 16. That's not too bad, actually. So we're going to go straight for the tackle. This thing's going to use Quick Attack. Obviously not do very much to good old Fruit Group. So the tackle's not doing too bad. Getting him to the yellow there. I'm going to go for one more. Just to get him down that little bit more. I never get critical hits with tackles, unlike that fucking Starmie, so there we go, we got him down to red, and we are going to catch this guy. So there we go, and we caught the Pidgey. We're getting super lucky with these Pokeballs now. So he's a tiny bird Pokemon, very docile. If attacked, it will often kick up sand to protect itself rather than fight back. Obviously, we are going to nickname this Pidgey, and we are going to call him... We're going to call him Tybarn after... that's a Fire Emblem reference, if anybody here also plays Fire Emblem. One of my favorite characters in the series, and yeah, so we're going to call him that. So Tybarn was transferred. Now, obviously, still don't have very many viewers or enough subscribers or anybody to take a vote on this, but I will be switching him out for Potato will be switched out. Oh, wait. What did I just do, guys? I totally apologize. I was supposed to release Potato, wasn't I? Because I switched out Potato to take on that Drowsy. That is my bad, guys. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. So he's healed right now, and obviously he did not enter a battle, but that is my mistake for not releasing him. Obviously, because he was basically fodder for me. So I'm going to run straight back to the Pokemon Center, and we're going to take care of that right now before anything else happens. I knew there would probably be a few mistakes like that here and there, but I didn't think I'd do something so blatant as heal a dead Pokemon, as it were. Obviously, we did not use him in battle, and he was not crucial to anything that happened afterwards, so I'm not too worried about it, guys, but I really got to remember to do that. Probably be more memorable when it's a actual party member rather than just one that was caught. So we are going to deposit, because that's how we do things. Deposit Potato, and then we have to release Potato. And Potato was released. Not too upset about that one, though, obviously. We're going to take the Tybarn out there. Not 100% sure if I'm really going to use him or not. Obviously, the bonus of having the Spearow was Peck, and then later on would be Drill Peck for some actual flying type moves, which were pretty rare other than Fly in Gen 1. But that being said, you know, there's no harm in keeping him around, see if he could be useful. Obviously, he won't be much good on against the next gym, being an electric type gym, so yeah, so we're not going to bother with a grind just yet. Maybe next episode I'll grind him up a little bit, see what I can do with him. As I said before, the advantages of Spearow far outweigh those of Pidgey. Even though Pidgeotto, I will probably get one in a couple of levels if I decide to train him. So I'm just not sure, guys. We'll have to wait and see until the next episode. So we are going to jump down here again. Just for the hell of it. It's a lot funner jumping over the ledges. So we did catch the Pidgey, and this is the daycare center. Obviously, we are not allowed to use that. I believe that is in the optional rules somewhere near the bottom, but we will not be using that. So we're going to enter this tunnel here. This one is the one who likes to trade, and you get a Machamp out of it by the looks of that. Cubone for a Machoke, and when the Machoke is traded, will become a Machamp. Obviously, we are not allowed to use traded Pokemon, and that I believe is Core Rule 5. So we make it through the tunnel alright, and now we are officially on the next route for Vermilion City, which is awesome. So here is obviously a new route, so we can catch one more new Pokemon, and we're going to find out exactly what that is right here and now. Unless we run into a random trainer battle. There aren't many bugs out here. So yeah, meant to run into a Pokemon, but got a trainer battle instead. So Weedle, Poison Sting, obviously scaring the shit out of me right off the bat. Obviously, I don't really want to fight with Tybarn right there. Wayne is my go-to against Poison types, so that is what we're going to do. So we're sending Wayne out right off the bat here. He's going to use String Shot anyway, but nonetheless, just not going to play that game. Poison Sting obviously is going to do next to nothing. I can't be poisoned as a poison type. Just going to bite him all day, every day, until he faints. So there we go, critical hit, and the Weedle's done for. So next he's going to put out a Caterpie, same strategy, just going to go for the bites, no point in switching out. Not that great of experience, not really much I can do for a type advantage really. And one more bite should take him out. I'm surprised that Caterpie's actually faster than my Zubat, but maybe that String Shot did more than I thought. So he's got one more Weedle on board, so I guess it is a good thing I stayed in just for the sake of that poison. Could have really fucked my day, or I could have wasted a potion. I mean, I use potions when they're necessary, and I'm not going to really take big risks and say, ah, shit, I should have used that. But obviously, we do want to save them up. So there we go. The bug catcher was defeated. Now, obviously, guys, we've run out of time, or we're at our limit. So next episode, we're right off the bat, we will be catching a Pokemon in one of these patches of grass. So until then, thanks for watching, and subscribing. Means a lot. And we'll see you next time. Hey guys, what is going on? This is part 16 of Pokemon Nuzlocke Yellow Challenge. Mitchell here once again. Now I apologize guys, got to say something really quick. My audio did not record for these next two parts that I recorded. Something wrong with my microphone, I guess. Anyways, so this is going to be more of a watching back kind of video. So if my timing's off a little bit, I apologize for that. But we're just going to get underway here. In the last episode, we did not catch a wild Pokemon in this route. We ended it before we did, so we're just going to go ahead and run into something. The first encounter is an Abra. Now that is great or not great, because as you guys know, that thing is going to teleport in one move. You have one shot at it. That is your only chance back in Generation 1. So obviously I just opted to throw it because, you know, I don't have a second chance, so I might as well just take a risk on him. And lo and behold, Abra's caught. That is awesome, guys, because, you know, Psychic was so overpowered back then. So it's the Psy Pokemon. It sleeps 18 hours a day. If it senses danger, it will, I guess I was a little slow here, teleport itself to safety even as it sleeps. And that's exactly what it is. So we got to nickname this thing. I couldn't really think of anything great off the top of my head. I don't know if I'm going to cut this part out. Probably not, because I don't think I took too much time. I always I sit right beside my old Blu-ray collection and stuff. My video games are on a shelf behind me, so normally I can like look at things and kind of get a reference for something cool. It is a psychic type, so I think what I did go for, I went for Lord of the Rings reference, you know, a wizard kind of thing, because psychic, wizard, I don't know, it just kind of seemed to fit. So I believe I went for Gandalf here. I don't know how long it'd take to figure that one out. But as I said before, guys, psychic back then was a huge advantage. It was, you know, because there wasn't really any weaknesses. There was a limited move pool for things that were good against it. Dark type didn't exist back then. It was just Psychic was overpowered. So, I mean, this is great that I actually got one, because a Kadabra will help so much in this Nuzlocke. Having Psychic, Psybeam, all that stuff. Just overpowered moves with limited problems against them. So. And of course, we are not going to have an Alakazam though, because as I said before, I appreciate people who do that, you know, for a Graveler to a Golem. I've watched some videos, some guys I subscribe to, they do that for their Nuzlocke. They use an emulator cheat code to just evolve link trade Pokemon. That's fair, I understand that, but unless I get a huge, you know, base that tells me, no, you should do that, no, you should do that, no, you should do that, unless I hear enough comments that say, really, you should be going for that, I'm not going to bother with it, guys, because obviously I'm not link trading, so it's not really official, you know what I mean? So I don't really agree with it that much, but we're probably going to switch out Tybarn there, because Tybarn really isn't part of the group yet. I've barely even used him. So, but we're going to skip those trainers right there, I believe, just because I didn't want to fight them yet. I've never seen you around. Are you good? Well, I don't know. We're going to find out. But yes, I skipped those trainers right there, guys, because I wanted to save them for training up the Abra later. So this guy's got a level 20 Butterfree, and I mean, Jesus, it's like all of a sudden, boom, we have a third evolution of Butterfree. He's huge, you know, compared to what we've seen so far, you know. Sprite just takes up the whole screen. So I send out Wayne right from the get-go. I get confused right off the bat, and I believe I switch out. Yeah, I do, because I just don't want to take a risk. I mean, this guy's going to kind of screw with my day. But I'm really worried about this guy because he's got tons of different moves. I believe back then he was flying type, bug flying. I couldn't remember if that was a new addition, just like, you know, things like Charizard being added and things like that. Like, certain types didn't match up and they changed things later, fairy type and all that, so I wasn't sure if Butterfree would be affected by my Thunder Shock, but I did go for the chance that it would. It does, and it's super effective, so I mean, obviously it doesn't take very long for me to get rid of this guy, but he had a bunch of powders, different sleep powder, poison powder, stun spore, all that stuff, so it could have wrecked my day. Wayne grew to level 19. That's great. I'm hoping for that Golbat. Golbat will be great. You know, teach him some toxic moves, get him a Sludge Bomb maybe. Really make him a good addition to the team. So obviously we do have to fight these two trainers. They won't be good because, you know, so me, well, okay, I'll play, is what she says. But as I was saying, we weren't going to fight those two trainers. I wanted to save them for some switch out training for Gandalf there in the box. So obviously right away we go off with Wayne again. We get quick attacked, and I mean that knocks us down with a critical hit to 8 HP. We go for the bite, but we're going to switch out right here because I'm just not willing to take that risk. I believe we switch into Sparky again just for the type advantage, and we do. He's paralyzed, but it shouldn't matter too much. He can take a couple of quick attacks, I'm sure, and Sand Attack fails, so Thunder Shock obviously has 100% accuracy, I believe, back then, so it's all good, super effective, and that ends the Pidgey. She sends out another Pidgey, goes for the Sand Attack again, but I am fully paralyzed. Finally hits with on in this next one, but it doesn't matter. The Thunder Shock still makes connection, but is left with red. And that is why I really want Thunderbolt, because Thunder Shock right now, like Pikachu, is obviously not the strongest Pokemon, you know, not the greatest. He grows to level 21. He's not the greatest though, guys, as I said before. But it's not based solely on his stats. It's based on the fact that right now his attacks are for, you know, back in Pewter City and stuff. He's like right now they're starting to get stronger attacks. They're starting to be stronger, and I don't have moves that match up to the level of the Pokemon that I'm running into. Thunder Shock is only so good. It's like 40-100 or something like that. Don't quote me on that, guys. I'm not 100% sure, but Thunderbolt is what I really need, and since this is the yellow edition, this Pikachu will learn Thunderbolt. So I'm just hoping to learn that sooner than later. So we beat that trainer, and then we go on to this last one here. He says, "Hi, you want to talk to me?" And we do. Not really, but we're going to anyways. It is a junior trainer male who sends out a Spearow. And we send out our badly hurt Wayne. We probably should have fixed that. Excuse me, guys. We're going to go with Fruit Group only because Sparky's a little low right now, and he's got Peck, which does do pretty decent damage even when it's not super effective. And also I'm worried about that Fury attack, because if he hits 5 times, I could be screwed. So I just went for a fully health or full health Pokemon. Obviously that didn't work out that great though, because as you can tell, like, I'm really worried because flying type, just like psychic, kind of screws with my day. I got no one that's really any of my powerhouses have a type disadvantage, so I go for Tybarn because I think he can do it. Spearow's already at like half health basically, and right there he is, so I figure that I can take care of him pretty well. With Tybarn, they're matched level. This thing's only going to growl me, you know, nothing too bad. So I go for the final quick attack, I believe. No, one more, and he does go for the Fury attack. And once again, this is a move that I used with Crow back before he died. And when you hit like 4 or 5 times, it can do some pretty decent damage where you otherwise wouldn't. So anyway, the Spearow fainted. That's all great. Sends out Eradicate, and I'm just worried right there. No, split decision right there, because obviously, as you guys saw, I just went for it, and I know he's going to die. Right there, I treated Tybarn like fodder. I wasn't attached to him yet. He was a brand new catch. I wasn't thrilled about getting a Pidgey Ott for type advantage in any way, because he's not really going to learn anything great, you know. So I just opted to not take hits like that, where this Eradicate is going to be able to hit me hard. So I opted to switch him out for fodder and go for the win rather than sacrifice another guy. So I won that, but Tybarn is down for the count. Of course, that it doesn't really work in our favor, because obviously you want to save up as many guys as you can, but he was going to be switched out anyways. I still want to keep Rookfort there. I don't know why I'm so attached to Rookfort. I think it's because I named him something that I really enjoy. Rookfort is such a good name, you know. It just is like Aristocats, you know, reference there, and so I'm just going to hold on to him until I actually find something I really want to use. So we are going to release him. We're not going to forget like we did with Potato. We're going to release old Tybarn, which kind of sucks, honestly. I always did like my Pidgeotas and my Pidgeots. So we are going to withdraw Gandalf, however, and we're going to be raising him. Now, I don't believe we do it this episode. I can't remember. I don't think we do. I think it's next episode where we start a grind, and that video is just all over the place, guys. I recorded it about 4 or 5 days after doing this one, and I was a little rusty on how I kind of forgot how I was doing things. A lot of things went on. There was a bachelor party, a wedding, a school exam. There was a bunch of stuff going on, so I didn't have time to really record or make any videos during that time. So I was a little rusty in doing it. So the next one will be a grind. It will probably be boring. It'll probably be a long video as well, because I wasn't really paying attention to time either. So, but anyways, we did withdraw Gandalf, and we are going to raise him right up to a Kadabra shortly. So, but the first thing we are going to do though with him is we are going to go and fight those 2 trainers, I believe. Once again, I'm commentating on a video already recorded, because the audio while I was recording did not pick up. I just got audio from the game, and it didn't pick up any of my external recordings. So I don't know why I'm taking so long here, guys. I completely forget. Obviously, I can't even hear what I originally was doing here, so maybe I was explaining something I don't really remember, and I screwed up that switch up by the looks of it. Yeah, I did. So obviously Gandalf has no attacks, so we're gonna have to do that. I go in here for the old rod, and here's where I think we had an issue, because some of the guys that I talked to thought that this was a little unfair that I was in a city and I was catching Pokemon. But I figure, you know, if I got Surf, technically any body of water, anywhere you can run into a Pokemon is fair game, and Vermilion City is its own route. So I believe I used the old rod to catch a Magikarp, because I could not get the Magikarp originally because of Core Rule 5 from Pewter City. But a Gyarados would be great. Dragon Rage, 40 hit automatically. Hyper Beam back when it was a physical move. Surf, you know, a water type. I mean, Gyarados will really help me out here. So I think I do end up using the old rod to catch him after I fight these two trainers that I messed up here. I'm training for my love. Don't bother me. So we're going to fight these trainers here, guys, to raise up Gandalf's level there. Because we want a Kadabra ASAP, and he can't do anything on his own there. And he's only level 7, so obviously we really need to raise him. We need to raise him fast. So next episode is going to be a grind. Absolutely. So I forget who I switch out here to. I believe I go to Drago or Fruit Group. Yeah, I go to Fruit Group for the type advantage there because I believe Grass against Ground, Vine Whip, you know, super effective. Get rid of him. He is level 20 though. I mean, see, this is the problem here. When I do a grind or I'm raising these Pokemon, I'm trying to do them even, and then all of a sudden, you know, you run into and you're matched for level with basic trainers. It's just like, you know, if I had raised these guys, you know, a little more, or I had grinded them a little more, I'd be more better off, right? Because I should always be a couple levels higher than the trainers you run into. But Gandalf skips 2 levels just with that 1 Cubone, so that's nice. He goes straight to level 9 from level 7. Excuse me, guys. And that's pretty great. So this guy says, I'm doing this out of love, leave me alone. So I assume these guys are on a date or something, and I'm just bothering them. But he's going to send out a Weepin' Bell. Now, I believe one of these guys originally in one of the older games had a Squirtle here, but I could be thinking about Rock Tunnel, where somebody has a Wartortle and a Bulbasaur or something, and somebody's got a Charmander. I think Rock Tunnel's full of starters or something. But I thought someone here had a Squirtle. Anyways, we're going to switch out into Wayne for the type advantage because he is a poison type. Leech Life is going to be super effective against him. That's pretty awesome, so we're going to go for that. He's going to go for the growth, and we are just going to Leech Life his ass until he is done for, which will be the next hit because we did not get a critical there, unfortunately. But that growth isn't going to help him much because he's already gone to the wayside right then and there with that last Leech Life. Wayne is going to wreck his day, and that'll be the end of that guy. So Gandalf grows to level 10, so he's already 6 levels until he becomes a Kadabra. Because level 16 is when he evolves, I'm almost sure of it. So we're going to continue on now. I forget exactly what we do next. Probably go to the Pokemon Center. I don't really remember. Which we do. I'm correct about that. So I guess we're just healing up our guys from those 2 battles. Not that there was much damage on either end, but you know, just play it safe. It is a Nuzlocke challenge, and that is what we should be doing, obviously. Playing it more safe than not. And so that will end the video, guys. Next episode, we will consider whether we're going to use the old rod for the Magikarp or not. But thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, and we will see you next time.